I started learning the cello age 9 in Birmingham. I got the chance, it was year 4. I actually wanted to start in year 3, but I was actually told I was too small, which is quite incredible. Yeah, I think having really supportive parents made a massive difference. One thing that was great for me personally is my parents didn't necessarily, they weren't really kind of learned in kind of classical music and what it takes, learning an instrument and orchestras and whatnot, but they were very keen to learn. And I think that's really, really important. So I came through the youth orchestra system in Birmingham, culminating in the CBSO Youth Orchestra, which was fantastic. And that gave me the opportunity of playing with some of the world's leading conductors, which has been an incredible experience. Then on to Birmingham Conservatoire, where I did my undergraduate degree. I had an incredible cello professor there, Lionel Handy. And again, just kind of, by this point, of course, I decided that I wanted a career in music, and that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to play in an orchestra. So yeah, I started doing what was necessary for that. Then move on to Royal Academy. I moved to London a year ago to do my master's. And yeah, that's been an incredible journey the last year. It's led to some incredible opportunities, contacts that I've made and such. And then I just kind of wanted to talk about some of the challenges that I faced, which I think is interesting to look at. It's been mentioned already today, actually, and it's the idea of lack of role models, which I think is it's a really big thing. For me, growing up, I never felt like there were many black classical musicians, cellists, which I think makes a difference. And that kind of feeds into perception of what it is, whether this is something that's for people like me. I think if you see people that have made it and you can identify with them, I think that makes a huge difference. Yeah, so the subject of expectation, which was quite a big thing for me, particularly around the ages of, I guess, 17, 18 to sort of 20, 21. Yeah, what's expected of a young black male, actually, I guess, and the prejudice that's sometimes there. And there's one story I wanted to share, actually, of something that happened when I was in Birmingham doing my undergraduate degree. And it kind of just gives a bit of an indication of kind of the prejudice and the expectation that I was just talking about. I was invited to watch an open rehearsal, the CBSO, City of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra. I was playing in an orchestra. In the morning we had a rehearsal, and then we were invited to come back after lunch and then watch the CBSO rehearse. So I came in after lunch with some of my colleagues, making my way into the hall, and the steward, as I tried to walk into the hall, the steward puts his arm out in front of me, and then is kind of like, can I help you? Are you lost, sort of thing. And I said that I'm here to listen to the CBSO rehearse, and he was like, oh right, okay. And then he stepped back and I went in, and I guess that's kind of, the expectation or lack of, he couldn't understand why I would be here and wanting to listen to an orchestra. Yeah, and then some of the things that I found really quite enriching, actually, being a musician, is people's pleasant surprise that you sometimes get. And I've been commended a number of times by people for what I'm doing in music. And one occasion sticks out in my mind. It's quite recent, actually. I was playing at a chamber music festival just a few weeks ago, and I came across this man, a Chinese man, a really nice man, and I just played. I think I'd played the Smetana Second Quartet, something like that. And he came up to me at the end and he said, fantastic, really enjoyed it, thank you so much. And he said, I want to say that what you're doing is just brilliant. you know, and he said, "I'm proud of you." And he went on to say, which I found quite funny, he said, you know, anyone can run fast like Usain Bolt. he actually said that. He actually said that. And, but not many people play the cello. Not, what he meant was not many black people. And it made me laugh, and I said thank you. But yeah, the kind of pleasant surprise of people, and you know, I get a lot of comments, you know, on the tube, on the bus, you know, and people. I remember one time I was at a concert, I wasn't performing, and I sat down, took my seat, and then a lady next to me, I saw her, she tapped her husband, look dear, look, to point out there's a black guy listening to the orchestra. So, you know, it's funny. Yeah, it's mixed, I guess, but that's kind of my perspective.
Thank you very much, James. Thank you.